Oh, he's probably nude.
That was a perfect way to start the stream.
It's been 90 seconds, right?
It's
You can say nude. It's
actually,
not.
I have good news for y'all streaming crew, which is that we may be spending more time on Twitch than YouTube for the foreseeable, and therefore, we might be able to swear more. However, we can't say a certain word.
Hot tub.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
it's
the one.
classist to say hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway,
but boy, would it bring us in more viewers.
Only some people can afford lukewarm tubs.
But
the
yeah,
grim darkness of the future.
We can say the fuck word in the grim darkness of the future.
What about tepid tubs?
So it's rolling in it. We're playing Scum and Villainy still. We're back. The Nova Dynamics heist was a surprising success.
Is that how you'd characterize it?
I had full confidence.
I mean, I had confidence that y'all would get something out of it, and also, I mean, it's your first heist. I wasn't gonna go too hard on you or anything, but
anytime where we make double, I call it a success.
There were some touch and go moments. I was a little worried for you, and you pulled it off. In fact, you pulled it off almost too well. Getting that double payment, that's some fancy behavior. Too fancy.
All credit to Brett for having the double cross in his back pocket the whole
time. I can't believe Douglas
holding on to that double cross the whole time. Just sitting on it.
Like, oh, by the way, we're legitimate contractors. Haven't you seen the movie Sneakers? And they're like, no, that happened hundreds of years ago, sir. Dan Aykroyd's entire canon has been banned.
So y'all didn't accumulate much heat. We decided like 3, I think.
We did a legitimate business job.
Yeah, we did a business.
Yeah, so it wasn't there wasn't a lot of overall law enforcement activity, but nonetheless, you decided to take off, get out of the everlasting macadamia for a while, maybe head to a different colony or head somewhere else. I guess that's the first question then. Do y'all want to stay in Galileo, the colony cluster that you're currently in, or do you want to maybe go elsewhere?
I think we better go elsewhere. Yes, me.
I have an unfinished clock, at least with getting the cloaking device for the ship. But if that can be continued elsewhere, that'd be fine.
We're doing a cloaking device?
Yeah, we want to make sure that our ship can be hidden from...
We're sort of fugitives from the law.
Yeah, if you don't remember, like 4 weeks ago in game, we escaped from a prison ship.
We killed
with nothing but our lives and like a bushel of cabbages.
Yeah.
We also had some guns.
I will say, if you were to leave Galileo entirely, some clocks might be set back or reset or just stalled because they're sort of
maybe.
I don't want anything to catch up with us here. I think we should be gone by the time someone decides to investigate.
I mean, the heat's a little low, but I see where you're coming from.
I mean, Galileo is, over 8 billion people, tons of individual colonies. You could just go to a different spot in it. But if you want to get out of the area, Luna's nearby, the Earth's nearby, and then, there's plenty of stuff that's further away.
I vote we stay.
Yeah, I think we can stick around in Galileo. Maybe not the everlasting macadamia. Maybe we move over to like Tachyon Guava, which is a little further out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still kind of in the same cluster of colonies, but it's kind of a little further away.
Mm-hmm. They're more of like a agricultural colony than like a high-tech one. But you know how it is with all these space farms.
I'm a big fan of circuitous jackfruit.
Oh, circuitous jackfruit. What's their specialty again?
Robots that are shaped like fruit.
Very on the nose.
It's mostly for theme parks, so it's like a lot of like watermelons with like little spindly legs, like spiders, just going all over the place.
Honestly, that's kind of horrifying.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah,
why would you
doing-
want that at your theme park?
Well, when you
They're
have 8
doing
billion
terribly
people in space,
economically.
I'm sure that like there has to be at least 1 or 2 horror themed theme parks. Like in space, it's always Hallow Scream, which is obviously the promo that all theme parks must do in space.
Interesting.
Is that not you guys' favorite time to go to a theme park when they're doing their Halloween events? Like,
I don't like
it's so
theme
nice.
parks.
Well, you're a coward.
It depends
I've
on
never
the
been to
theme.
a theme park. on
The theme
Halloween.
is Halloween.
All right, so are you going
Anyways.
to Tachyon Guava, the farming colony, or Securitas Jackfruit, the theme park colony?
I think circuitous jackfruit could be
I
fun.
guess we have to now. Yeah.
Okay, so you arrive at Circuitous
Circuitous jackfruit.
Circuitous Jackfruit. It's another long, spindly colony, the same as the one that you were just at, and
We have to do a loop-de-loop as we
it
dock.
is. Well, I say it's the same, but this one is a little more modern. You might recall we talked about the everlasting macadamia was sort of like built in like the mid years of like development and is like aging a little. This one is only Securitas Jackfruit is like only like a couple decades old. Like it's still pretty fresh. There's still some places where they never peeled the protective plastic off of the like
That's what I'm
steel
doing.
beam.
Well, we found ourselves our heist. Everybody, we're going to be peeling the blue film off the space station windows from the outside.
If you climb into some really remote places in the space station sort of infrastructure, you can find places where the blue film is
Instead
still
of tagging places that are out of the way with graffiti, people just peel away the protective film.
Hey, you kids, get away from there! Ha ha!
I was saving that for later!
Can that be like a special stress downtime action for this round only?
I think that qualifies under the pleasure vice.
Yeah, you can do it as a vice only when you're here. Or if you're in other certain new colonies,
Yeah.
maybe. But
Maybe this is our heist. We steal all of the blue film from this entire space station.
If that's what we're doing, I'm just going to organize the sick bay the whole time.
Who's gonna buy it?
The colony itself is going to buy it to put them back.
Plastic peeling fetishists will have a device that reapplies it to whatever surface you want, so you can just do that at home. Ooh, it's not quite the same, but it's good.
Yeah, you just need like 70 gallons of high quality alcohol and a heat gun, and you can reapply the plastic.
You can peel plastic off of anything.
so y'all hop to the Circuitous Jackfruit, the theme park colony. They make stuff for theme parks. They also have a number of great theme parks here. And
It's like
downtime.
Gotham City. The whole place is lousy with amusement parks.
Yeah, like there's Rogueland, which is just knockoff superhero themed. But it's really cool because they have escape rooms that you can rent for an hour. And at the end of it, you get to kill an animatronic.
Wow.
It's right next door to Robot Cowboys that you can have sex with, which is the name of the ride, because the other thing is trademarked.
The escape rooms have like a very realistic android in it, and the key is inside their head, and they get very
You have to kill
argumentative.
them.
Yeah, the second to last
You
puzzle
actually
does
don't.
give you
It's
a claymore.
just a question. It's in their head, and that they know it. Like you misinterpreted it and killed a fucking living being. It's a very different.
Yeah, they're
thing
programmed
that
to
happened.
feel
Very
pain.
different.
It's very odd.
All right,
it's,
so
it's totally unnecessary.
It's only fair.
it's downtime. Y'all have a bunch of money, a little heat, and you did your maintenance on the spaceships. You have like what 7 money left? I think was after the maintenance.
Yes. I
Yeah, we
believe so.
had 9, I believe, originally.
Wild that
right?
we have not come up with a dumb future name for the money yet, but we'll get there.
In the future, they're only called credits.
People
Yeah,
got really
credits,
into The
whatever.
Sims in the 25th century, so they're actually simoleons.
That's actually a country.
Yeah, so y'all had 7 credits. So if you want to expand your downtime, you can, spend some money on that. But otherwise, you got 2 downtime actions. Teeth, do you have a downtime action ready? You're muted, so
Okay, so I believe Teeth was attempting to get a stealth module, or a cloaking device rather, for the ship, because we are fugitives. I believe we had 5 out of 6 segments of that clock filled.
sounds right.
Teeth met a car thief named Agile, who is on the everlasting macadamia, so can't talk to him anymore. Brett,
Or you
did
could
some
call him on the
stuff.
space phone.
You can call me on my space phone.
You could. Brett did some stuff and microwaved help, and that filled out 4 out of 6 segments. So we got 1 segment left. I forget what Brett did. What did Brett do?
I found where like some junk was that was of higher quality in the junkyard
Right.
because it was like a cache or something.
Are
Okay.
you trying to say that your junk is higher quality?
I've only ever said that in character.
You
So
actually found something even more intriguing than that in some ways. You found a pattern to caches being hidden in junkyards.
Yeah, and it is a universal truth.
Would that pattern apply to junkyards on the circuitous jackfruit?
It would. It's not a universal truth, but it will apply to Galileo in general.
It's a Galilean truth. Okay.
Okay.
It's like hobo signs, but in space.
So I would like to
It's the Coriolis effect.
take a little trip down to the local junkyard, or one of the local junkyards, filled with desiccated roller coasters and like cars. But if you like hit the car's trunk, like a clown pops out, like a clown animatronic. It's
How much would
terrible.
one of those cost?
Honk.
How much
It's a
would one of those
horrifying
cost to get on
place.
our ship?
Maybe. Well, okay. So I would like Teeth's gonna take a little trip down to the local.
I'm this close to just taking all our
local
money and
junkyard.
hiding it from you guys.
Me
And yeah, I wanna advance. I wanna finish up this clock.
Okay.
Should I
At
pick,
this
like,
point, I mean, if you're willing to spend a downtime action on it, you only have 1 segment left of the clock. You don't need to roll any dice. You and Brett head down to a junkyard here, and sure enough, the pattern of caches holds true, and you find a set of cloaking device parts that, along with purchasing the non-working cloaking device on the black market, which we can say you just did before you left, that you had lined up. You right before you took off, you called that guy, and you're like, "Hey, hook me up with that broken cloaking device we were talking about."
He comes by wearing like a really oversized trench coat, and like, anybody want to buy a broken cloaking device? And he's right there.
So, and it's not very expensive because it's broken. And so then you head out to these junkyards, some junkyards on the news station. Like I said, sure enough, the pattern of caches holds true, and you find tons of parts to fix the cloaking device and are able to get it working. That said, this is military hardware, and it may always be a little more prone to failure because you've sort of jury rigged it somewhat to get it working, and also like you couldn't get a full manual for this if you tried necessarily, right? So like it may be at times a little unreliable and require maintenance, is all I'm saying. But you do have a cloaking device for the ship. Success.
Hell yeah.
And yeah.
Well done, y'all.
So that's your first downtime action. Let's move on to Lana.
Okay.
You got one ready?
I got my first action will be I want to inventory the sick bay, and I want to set up a checkup and vaccine schedule for the whole crew.
Okay. What's the goal behind this? What do you hope to accomplish?
Well, like we need to have a healthy and happy crew, so I'm just making sure everybody's like current on their vaccinations, like has a health check scheduled, you know. I'm like also going through to see if like anybody has nursing experience to help me out, that sort of thing. Just like doing ship's doctor stuff.
Okay.
Like we don't want to be caught with like our pants down and like the whole crew gets sick with something. We could have avoided.
We could call this like acquire an asset and say that for the next heist, like all medical, like your medical situation on the ship is in tip-top shape. Like there should never be a question of, do you have an extra set of hands? Do you have the right tool? Do you have the right medication? Does that sound good to you? So yeah, so for the next heist, Med Bay is in top tier shape because Lana has just been going around organizing everything.
Restocking, organizing.
Including the people.
We got it.
Yeah.
So
I know exactly who hasn't had their tetanus shot.
None of us are coming down with space boils.
So extremely medically prepared next session. All right, Microwave, do you have a...
Yeah, I started studying the ship hardcore last time, and I would like to finish that.
Okay.
So,
You've described how you're
yeah,
you're
I'm
just
going
thoroughly
head to toe through
yeah.
the ship, trying to like learn every little thing about it.
Where are you at on that clock?
2 out of 4.
Okay, so roll study again.
2 for me. All right.
Okay.
4. Or 2 and 2. Which is bad.
Oh yeah. Okay. You are not successful at all.
I don't even get 1 on this.
I'll give you 1.
Okay.
But yeah, you just find yourself getting hung up on like some weirdness of how some certain door panels were wired. You're like, why did they wire the buttons this way? I just don't get it. You should use a latching switch here. This is a momentary switch, but then it has like a separate latch mechanism. There's no reason for it. Why are things? And you're just obsessed.
I spend like 10 hours taking apart a door panel.
Well, not 1, like 5.
Okay.
You take apart like 5 different door panels throughout the ship, trying to confirm that they're all this way, trying to decide if you're gonna do something about it. You know, trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, and you just basically waste most of your time. However, by the end of it, you have learned a few things. Now this is confusing because it added. I'm gonna rearrange y'all.
There you go.
And then, okay, now everyone on bottom hasn't gone yet. That I can handle. All right, so that's your first action. Remind me again, what was your end result, like, kind of goal with this?
Well, I think I just wanted to know the ship from head to toe so that I could do anything with it, basically. Like, I really know the ship. Like, so in the future, when I'm trying to do stuff, I can just be like, oh, no, I freaking know the ship.
Okay, so this would be to help you modify it later.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
probably.
hearing,
Yeah.
Okay. Sid, do you have your first downtime action ready? You gotta unmute if you got a downtime action.
You hush. I am going to process some crypto smokes to indulge my vice and clear some of this stress. And that is a 3, so that'll take me from 5 stress to 2, and that'll be plenty for me.
All right, feeling a little better after some mining some cigarette NFTs.
Sitting around and wasting electricity like a good little robot.
Just the smooth, bold flavor of those menthol NFTs, you know?
Look, once you hit one of the prime numbers, you're like, oh, the buzz. I get it.
Ah.
But they're just further and further away each time, so you just got to keep hitting it. It's like,
unfortunately, we got to burn
but there are infinitely many twin primes, so you get that double hit.
No,
you could get that double hit at any time.
That's what keeps you coming back.
We got to burn like a quarter of the ship's fuel to actually like get one of those. So, you know.
It's so worth it to get the next double prime or twin prime, though.
I'll tell you how it tastes.
Brett. Don't you do it too.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So Brett is it's gonna go to Thrills in Chillsville, which is a local theme park.
Of course.
In the Circuitous Jackfruit.
Yeah, the Circuitous Jackfruit.
Yeah, so the specialty of this theme park is that it's World War VII themed, in that all of the rides have you like racing biplanes through the gas clouds of Jupiter. For clarity, World War VII hasn't happened yet. It's like a speculative future thing.
Okay.
But he rents a buddy animatronic because obviously the Circuitous Jackfruit has so many just like surplus animatronics that you can just do this. And he is going to temporarily upload Janus Lastadame into it as a form of indulging vice by making better friends with this parasite embedded in him. By going to the theme park!
Okay.
Does anyone want to voice act whatever scene is happening here?
You know, there's
or can I just roll?
There's like a 12-foot tall Home Depot skeleton, and it's like, oh, welcome to the spooky. And then you get
cousin.
That's all it says. Welcome to the spooky. And then you get like stuck in this like, little pod that sort of transports you around on some different rides, and there's some ghosts and stuff. Yeah, there's that. There's that one. There's Ghost with an Axe.
That's the scariest one.
That's the scary one. Yeah, it's a really scary one.
And then there's just little girl with dog. It's not even haunted or anything. It's just a little girl.
She's not even singing a creepy song. She's
just like
normal.
Oh, cotton candy. And there's potential that she's just like lost and she's not supposed to be on the ride.
Yeah, maybe.
I think the key is that her youth is supposed to remind you of your own mortality.
Oh,
yeah.
Providing the greatest horror.
The scariest thing is the inexorable passage of time.
I like. Okay.
I was lost for a second, but now I'm there.
Roll your lowest attribute for stress relief.
I got 4.
All right.
I rolled 1.
How much stress did you have?
I had
a lot,
1,
right?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes.
Okay. Well, then you didn't overindulge. Take 4 stress off.
God knows I couldn't.
Al.
Hey there. How's it going?
Al, since you were late, and also for the benefit of viewers who may be tuned in late, y'all finished the heist. You figured the everlasting macadamia is a popsicle stand you didn't need to spend any more time at, and you moved on to a different colony within Galileo, the Circuitous Jackfruit, an amusement park colony, where they make amusement park stuff, and also there's some great amusement parks. There's also some other regular stuff, but it's just kind of known for amusement parks.
What if the amusement parks get out of control somehow?
I mean, I think that's already happened. But
No.
Yeah, remember what happened to Southwest World?
Michael Crichton Land?
Jurassic Shark.
So Al,
Yeah.
we're at Securitas Jack Food and it's downtime. What's your first downtime action?
So, first of all, I wanted to check and see if we had any what is the term? Where we're in trouble from the law. Oh my God, what is the term?
Heat. The term is heat.
Do we have any heat?
So we have 2 heat.
3 heat.
So I would like to roll to remove that heat somehow.
It's not a roll.
Oh.
You spend one of your downtime actions. Just describe. You get to remove 2 heat. Describe. What do you do to take the heat off of you guys?
So I slowly go around and I just describe to the local townies. I don't really know what.
Also, wait, hold on. Wait a second. Al,
Yes.
what happened to you on the heist? You were there and then you disappeared.
So just to explain myself, here we go. Groucho Box came in, stole one of my leg bones, and I had to chase after him to get my leg bone with 1 foot. What do you want me to do? Like I was robbed. It was highway robbery.
Were you hopping mad?
I was hopping mad. I was related to my cousin IHOP.
Okay.
Yeah, but in this case, you hopped.
I did hop.
I thought I heard the Benny Hill music playing.
Yeah, Brett just figured that you flushed yourself down the toilet to escape.
Unfortunately, I did not get that option. I had to follow the dog.
Where the nose goes, you goes.
I don't have a nose.
I know. It's very cruel. The worst form of irony.
Right.
All right. So, Al, thank you for
Yes.
explaining your mysterious disappearance. Now, how are you going to take some heat off of the crew?
So first of all, I'm going to find the local crier, the local dog talker. I don't really know.
Talk.
What do you want them to do?
Dignitary.
I want them to spread the rumor around that we didn't do it. It was somebody else.
Dognitary.
Different. It was D'Angelo. That's who we're gonna blame. We're pinning it on
Double
Angelo D'Angelo. I can't say
R.I.P.
his
and peace to
name.
Angelo D'Angelo.
I mean,
If
he's
he's
not.
dead.
We don't know if he's dead.
If he's dead.
God,
I
have
was only
mercy
told
on
he
us
was
if
put in an
isn't.
airlock. Unfortunately, like I was told the story, but he was
D'Angelo
only put in an
D'Angelo
airlock.
just pops in 12 sessions later, like,
Let's
I
just
wish,
say-
bitch.
No one else knows if he's dead either.
Nobody does. He could still be on that prison ship for all we know.
D'Angelo's status unknown.
That's what I'm
Totally
going with.
unknown.
I'm sticking to my guns on that one.
All right, so
D'Angelo
D'Angelo gets blamed for
Oh, can we start a clock for heat on D'Angelo D'Angelo? Take him up to heat 5
yeah.
out
Wouldn't it
of
be heat 2?
30. No, because he got the actual blame for this.
Oh.
If you want to keep advancing this clock, you'll have to do more than talk smack next time.
We're gonna have to frame
Like
him.
you're gonna have to keep getting more creative to build up this frame.
The mystique of the master thief, D'Angelo D'Angelo.
So how much heat did that take off us?
2.
Cool.
So you have one.
And how
more.
much heat did it add to D'Angelo?
Well, 2, of course. Yeah.
I would assume 2. This is how math works. Quick maths.
Actually, though, I'll just make it a 4-part clock and just say that's 1 part.
What's the title of the clock? The mystique of the master criminal.
Yeah.
D'Angelo and Tangelo.
The intangible D'Angelo. I'll work on it.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
elsewhere,
Make it rhyme.
The intangible D'Angelo.
You can't catch him because you can't hold him. No cell can hold that which is intangible.
Of the intangible D'Angelo play it come after you guys.
Like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
All right, Teeth. Downtime action number 2. What you got, baby?
Downtime action number 2. As you know, Teeth, due to his previous podcasting, really empire, let's be honest here,
You have like 10 followers.
has
Purple cheese.
several dozen listeners.
Several followers.
Yeah, but one of them's a hive mind, so it counts as a lot
yeah.
more.
Was previously sponsored, as we know, by Purple Chew. At a certain point, as an early adopter, they paid him in stock. So as we know, Teeth has a very small minority holding in Purple Chew. He's decided it's 80% lithium by weight, people. That he's decided Purple Chew, not a great name. We want to change that. So Teeth
What?
Well, that'll be revealed. Teeth has
TBD.
decided that he wants to own Purple Chew. That
You gotta have a dream.
the people at the top, they don't know what's going on. They're not paying attention to what the kids want. And what the kids want, it's not Purple Chew.
They're just sitting on their ivory tower of chewed up purple chew.
Is this Scarface but with purple chew? First you get the purple chew.
All right, so
Then you get the power.
taking
Then you get
ownership-
the rebrand.
Getting ownership, owning control of Purple Chew is no small task. This is
It's
gonna
the
be
fourth largest company in the universe.
I
Like a 12.
don't think that's true, but
Of course not.
Didn't we say
You
that it was
see
like
it
the
in some of their
69th biggest
marketing.
company?
but
Nice.
I don't think that's true. But anyway, this is going to be a 10-part clock to
10
acquire
o'clock.
to
Okay.
acquire ownership of a large corporation.
I mean, there's so few corporations these days due to mergers and acquisitions and everything that really
You're not going to
Purple
argue your way out of this.
relatively large. Okay. All right. 10-part clock. So,
All right, what's your first step, Teeth?
first step. I'm gonna, look back in my little black book, get some, maybe make a couple calls to people in my old, my podcasting days, and we're gonna maybe ask, who are the current executives of Purple Chew? What are their whereabouts?
Joe Rogan too.
Yes, Joe Rogan too. I have nothing for this. I don't know. I forgot podcaster. Doesn't matter.
Wait, we're talking about who's the executives of Purple Chew?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's-
yeah.
Joe
we
Rogan
want-
too. Robot Johnson and Johnson.
hmm
The two robots
Yeah.
named Johnson.
They
And-
killed the original guys, but
Yeah.
it's-
And then another minority stakeholder of Purple Chew is the Forbidden Third Johnson. That's their full name.
The brain of John McAfee in a jar that really only stays in
Okay, hold on, I'm ready.
international space waters.
And also just known lithium magnate, Rubidium Jackson.
the Lithium Mining Corporation is actually the fourth largest industry in space.
Because of Purple Chew and Pink Chew.
Well, like
and
a lot of
Green Chew.
a lot of stuff is a lot more lithium than you'd
The
think.
current ownership.
You're telling me we
board
could have
of
been eating
Purple
pink chew this whole time.
The current ownership board of Purple Chew is Joe Rogan 2, John McAfee's brain, Robot Johnson and Johnson, the Forbidden Johnson, and Rubidium Jackson.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I want to know their whereabouts. What are they up to?
Well, it just so happens that Rubidium Jackson has a holiday home on the circuitous jackfruit.
The man
and
really
also,
loves roller coasters.
He
Who
does.
doesn't?
And also that the Forbidden Johnson is rumored to spend a lot of time with him here on Roller Coaster Island. He has a private roller coaster on an
Oh
island.
shit, that's awesome. Like, actually, I really want that now. Like, I think you just
Rubidium
gave
Jackson has
gold.
made a lot of money off of Purple Chew, and this is how he chooses to spend it.
Yeah,
It's
so,
all right to be booing your screen, viewers.
Yeah, I've heard that riding roller coasters isn't the only thing that the Forbidden Third Johnson likes to ride. So that is a potential heist we could be pulling off to
Well,
help
sure,
you.
boats,
Mm.
because he has an island and would need to get there.
Right.
Yeah,
Blackmailing the Forbidden Third.
it's too obvious. Teeth has a little bit of class. We got to go for something a little more convoluted.
All right. So
So, what do you want to do, Teeth? How do you want to gather this surveillance? You just want to
How do I
jump on
wanna-
the internet, start learning everything you can? Do you want to go stake this place out? Do you want to do something else?
I want to disguise myself as a maintenance person for the relevant theme park / ride, and maybe climb up onto an electrical pole, and perhaps using rigging, hijack whatever relevant devices there are to gather surveillance and information. Would that be possible?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The name of the private roller coaster is the Purple Choo Choo Train.
Purple choo-choo train. I'm gonna climb up onto one of the pylons supporting it, and maybe rig some devices there. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, you could set up some like surveillance devices. That'd be like, gathering information.
As we know, Rubidium Jones, all of his important conversations.
Rubidium Jackson.
I'm sorry, Rubidium.
Get it right.
All of his important conversations take place on the roller coaster.
Right, exactly. Like when he wants to do a shady business deal, he says, "Hey, let's get on the roller coaster." And then there's this kind of slow part where the roller coaster is just kind of snaking back and forth for a bit and it's not going very fast. And that's where he'll be like, "So what do you think about bombing those people to get the lithium?"
It's time for you to take a long walk off a short ride.
All right.
And so that's where you set up your listening device
2 and a 5.
for rigging.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Put 2 sections on the clock.
Oh, we're 1/5 there.
So, right away, you find out that it's not just the Forbidden Jackson that spends time there, but also sometimes Joe Rogan too. And so,
Joe Rogan
between
too.
the fact that all
Too.
3 of those people spend time at Rubidium Jackson's hangout, and for the Forbidden Johnson, like I was saying before, between the fact that all 3 of them spend time there, and the fact that they're just kind of talking about Purple Chew sometimes, when they're on the roller coaster doing their business dealings.
I just can't stop talking about it or chewing it. I don't know.
You start to gather a fair bit of useful info about how the board operates,
Mm-hmm.
what the owners are like.
The secretive purple Chuminati.
Really, what I want to find is that secret recipe.
Lana, what's your second downtime action?
Okay, so I want to get rid of some of this stress. So I'm going to do my vice thingy, whatever they call it in this game.
Indulging.
Indulgent, whatever. So yeah, is there like a grown-up bar or something in this
All
place?
bars are for grown-ups.
Oh, I mean, yeah, there's
I
millions of
mean,
people live here.
This is
it's
a
a
playground.
regular. No, I mean it's a regular colony. Millions of people live here, and all kinds of regular commerce, etc., happens. There just happen to be 7 of the greatest theme parks that you could ever hope to visit, including the Ookie Spooky Chill You Out place or whatever.
Thrills in Chillsville.
Thrills
Yeah,
and
audience,
Chillsville.
I promise you, Lana
If you go
is
to
so
all
much more of
7
a
of
bitch
them,
than I
if you go
am.
to all 7 of them in the span of a week, you get something called the Triple Crown, and nobody knows why it's called the Triple Crown and not the Septuple Crown.
There are also like a good handful of like low rate, amusement parks that try to like compete but never break in.
The most successful of those minor theme parks is a petting zoo for dangerous space animals that advertises how many people a year die.
Also, you were talking about Purple Chuminati. The Purple Chew board are pretty transparent for the most part. The
Because of all
owners
the
of the
lithium.
7 top theme parks and the Securitas Jackfruit, now that's a mysterious group.
Yeah, let's be honest. There's dozens of theme parks you
But
would
anyway,
not want to visit in
Lana,
this colony.
there's plenty of areas, especially where the maintenance workers for the theme parks hang out. That's a particularly surly bunch,
Yeah.
And some of the people too that like spend all day in those costumes, and then they get out of that heavy fucking bear suit. They just want to get drunk.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
Lana's been like filling prescriptions and checking people's medication, and inputting new medical records all day. Like, the whole motivation here is to just cut loose. Like, find somewhere to get shitty on cheap vodka drinks. The whole vice is getting blackout drunk.
All right, roll your lowest attribute.
Oh, sorry, everyone. I rolled a 6.
How much
I
stress
have
did you
1
have?
die. I had. Oh, I had 5 stress.
You overindulged. You got really drunk. All right, we haven't done this yet. I'll have to remind myself what the overindulgence consequences are here real quick. Okay, the 3 overindulgence consequences are rash action, which would be lose a bunch of money for the crew, specifically 4. Or, no, 2. I mean, sorry, 2. Big talk, which would be brag about your exploits, take +2 heat, or lost. Lana goes on a total bender, and you have to play a new character next session.
I'll play a new character next session.
All right.
Lana
So-
gets piss ass drunk and disappears.
Lana disappears.
I wrote the
Into-
character to do this, basically.
Lana
Lana
said that
just
you
thinks
guys
she's
were all
a varsity.
assholes and that she was leaving.
Is our heist just going to be breaking you out of the drunk tank in like Disneyland 4?
I love how the med bay is all set up and you just disappeared.
So Lana, when we're planning the heist, you can still help plan, and if you don't want any help with your character, etc., you can reach me outside a session. Blah blah. But yeah, you'll have to play someone else next time because you got way too drunk. It's over. You are white girl wasted. Microwave. What's your second downtime action?
I'm gonna take one of our creds and go gambling. I'm gonna go to the shiny
Well, you don't
wizard
have to take a
penny.
cred for this. If you're doing, what's your plan here? Are you doing Vice, or are you actually trying to? what are you
Remember
trying to
that a cred is enough for a home on most
I'm
planets.
also taking a cred because that's how I roll.
Oh no!
Microwave is literally just betting
I
an
just
entire
take it.
credit
I just fucking
on
take
black.
Put it all
I
on
went to the
double
Shiny
zero.
Wizard Penny, which is it's in Disneyland 4, but it's like a big gambling and drinking thing. You know, it's 21 plus at Disneyland 4.
It's like a hovering
Sure, you can
casino.
get drunk at Disneyland in real life, so why not?
Yeah, I got wine at Disneyland last time I was there.
So I'm at the
That's dope.
Shiny Wizard Penny gambling. So what do I roll for that?
You roll your lowest contribute to get rid of stress.
Okay. So it's basically like 0. Do I get it 1 die?
When you roll 2 dice, you take the worst of them.
Okay. 2 is the worst, which is a shame because I got 6 on the other one.
All right, you removed 2 stress. How much stress did you have?
6. That's not very much. God damn it.
Do you want to spend that 1 cred rolling again?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Careful. We don't want to have 2 new characters.
Do I get to make any money off of this gambling?
No.
Damn it. Damn it. Do I get
All right. 1 more stress gone. You lose a lot of money. It's not the best time, but it was okay, I guess. You did get drunk.
I love watching role players determine the outcome of a gambling contest using dice. It's just never quite there.
Sid. Second
Hello.
downtime action.
Sid is working to unionize all robots. So, what kind of clock do you want for that?
All robots?
I mean, I'm working to I would like to improve the labor condition. I would like to improve the labor conditions of my colleagues. So it is appropriate that I bring them together in a union or a collective bargaining unit. That is correct.
Well, it's definitely a leftist stream now.
Okay, here's what I want to propose. Really big projects can involve multiple clocks. And what I want to say is that we could start a 6-part clock to develop a strong unionization movement in Galileo, specifically for robots. So basically, like, you need to spread this. You don't have to take it everywhere yourself, but you are going to need to manually spread this to a certain number of like individual locations for this to have a political impact, etc.
And this would have some time frame associated, perhaps a clock. How long? 8, did you say, or 6?
6 just to build a movement here in Galileo.
Sweet.
And then we can also have a larger 6-part clock, which is build the movement overall. And when you complete this clock, that clock will get 1 segment. There may be ways to advance it a little faster, especially as it builds up, but it's going to be a big project.
Beautiful way to measure that progress. I get on the message boards and I spend I get my air of respectability for an extra downtime for acquire assets. I think a strong collective bargain agreement would be one of the strongest assets I could have. So I will spend that there. Is that a roll, or do I get to, or do I need? Yes, it is. So what are we doing here?
I think a consort roll would be pretty appropriate.
I'll take it. Well then, that is a 6.
Okay. Then add 3 parts to the Galileo building clock. You're very successful in your initial efforts of just distributing propaganda.
Very cool. Well then, that would be great. Then I can pass along, or I can do it. Yeah,
and it's one of those situations where, you know, when you give a robot who's being obviously exploited a leaflet that sort of explains the exploitation, why it happens.
It's a QR code. It's like that though. Like once you get the pamphlet in their hand,
right? like it's pretty. From there, it's pretty easy to like kind of sell them on, hey, this is a good idea for us.
You know how you're stronger than them and like made out of metal, right?
Like, yeah, we have some obvious advantages here.
First you propagandize, then you agitate.
I'd like to talk to you about the Mormon Church in Battlestar Galactica.
They're really bored. They'll read any literature you give them.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't take very long, so that has the
Because of
added
the robot
advantage.
eyes, yeah.
Right. It literally you're scanning a QR code and the data is just kind of inside you. So like, imagine if you could really proselytize something that way. But yeah. So your initial efforts to spread the word in Galileo are immensely successful, and you're off to a great start. Brett, what's your second downtime action?
4.5 years ago, a freak salvaging accident left an embedded parasitic AI core inside of Brett's spinal column. 4 years and 2 months ago, that same parasitic AI tried to engage in thermonuclear war against Luna, and for that, he was wrongly sentenced to crime jail. Brett wants to figure out what the fuck is happening here. Like, where does this guy come from, and why does he want to engage in thermonuclear war so badly? So Brett tosses on his best trench coat and gumshoe hat, and
Okay,
jacks into the net.
specifically,
And hops on to play tic-tac-toe.
here's what I'm going to be interested in. If Brett's going to succeed in this investigation, which is an 8-part clock, how are you going to do this without alerting the AI to the fact that you're attempting to discover this information? Because the AI does not want Brett to know all the info, right? Like from the very beginning, the goal was to keep Brett almost completely in the dark. Over time, you've learned to like have enough of a rapport with the AI that like sometimes it tells you stuff, but you still know that like realistically, like it's not telling you everything, and also like it doesn't want you to know stuff sometimes.
Yeah. Magnets. If you put a really strong magnet, it temporarily will disable the AI core. Like enough for like 10 minutes of space Googling. Spoogling.
If you do a lot of that, though, he's going to start to ask questions. Do you have any kind of...
Spoogling can get messy anyway.
Yeah. So what the AI core does know is that humans are famously prudish. So Brett does have to pull up some high quality pornography every time before he slaps the magnet on. It's like, sorry, I need some privacy, bud.
Okay.
So the AI core does have some knowledge of what Brett's masturbatory habits are. And he does have to keep putting out more and more outrageous space porn in order to keep the AI from questioning. Is that fair?
Sure. Will you roll sway?
Sway for the robot or for investigating?
It's to convince the AI. This is your main obstacle.
Oh, dang. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. It's a 6, baby.
That's absolutely filthy.
Okay, yeah, the AI is convinced that it doesn't want to know anything about your sex life because it's disgusted by human biology, obviously.
Who isn't?
Yeah, I mean, that's everyone. We can all relate to that.
So, things that want to wipe out all life, it turns out, not that interested in sex. So, you're able to convince the AI that there's like a reasonable truce to be had as long as not too much time goes missing. Based around this because it's just grossed out. So
how long could it take? 3 hours?
Add 3 parts to that clock.
Hell yeah.
You're able to do some productive space Googling about where this AI might have come from. Al. Second downtime.
Hey, so seeing as all of our money has been spent.
No, you have tons of money. You have 6 credits.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. I was going to acquire a local guide, really. that has connections to local criminal syndicate.
Okay.
I don't know, clown-faced mafia. I don't know.
Do you want to like make new friends, or do you want to like just like get a temporary use of some kind of criminal asset, so to speak, like such as a lockpick or
I'm gonna
muscle.
say
some
probably a muscle of some kind. Acquire some sort of other muscle.
Well, what kind of backup are you looking for?
Um,
It could be one pretty strong person, or like a small gang or something.
Is it possible to get a long-range sniper?
Sure, yeah.
Just wondering, because I can handle the close-up stuff, if they can handle the far-away stuff.
So you find like an ex-military, someone who was trained in the war, sniper. What's his name? Or her name, or their name?
Muscal, or Ted Danson works. Oh wait, no. Wait, hold up.
Moscow.
What's his name?
Moscow.
Kevin Fried Bacon.
Kevin Fried Bacon is a ex-military, was a sniper in the war.
He's perma-fried from psychedelic space mushrooms.
Yeah, took way too many ultra strong psychedelic space mushrooms, and
that was back when Purple Chew was 85% lithium.
Yeah,
right.
went too hard on.
No one.
That was never proven in court.
I mean, we can talk about it here, but we can't talk about it in public.
So Kevin Fried Bacon, bit of an oddball, but a good sniper, and
got a good eye.
Pretty easy to hire for jobs. So like basically, you spend some time getting to know him and partying with him, buying him some drugs of choice, and he's willing to come along for a job for like a.
All right.
For an essentially negligible cut.
I was going to
offer. We only
offer.
deal in large amounts.
I was going to offer a gift, but okay, if we've already decided on an amount.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's downtime, everybody. So.
All right.
You find yourselves once again. You're back on the ship. You've still got some cash, but. And by the way, when you were at 8 money, I think your ship's money storage was full. I need to give y'all your proper ship's sheet. We'll do that outside of session before next session.
That'll be
you have a good bit of money right now. But the money's not going to last forever. Also, like, you could be upgrading your ship or dispersing some of this money, upgrading your own personal lives. Keep in mind the stash mechanic that each of your characters has. You can sort of build up this stash that sort of increases your lifestyle. It has some small benefits for you in the long run. And so like right now, all of your like personal quarters on the ship are just like these like bare bones, crummy little rooms. Sorry, Al. I didn't mean to be offensive to the skeletons in the room.
Bare skin. Nobody's offended by that. Only grossed out.
Right now, like you're the only property you own is a crummy little spot on this spaceship, and it sucks. As you fill up your stash, first of all, that would get better. And then second of all, like when you fill up after you fill the first bar of stash, you could start, if you wanted to, maybe acquiring properties around the system as well. So that like you have some housing that's like yours in different places, which could also come in handy for the purposes of hideouts or missions or things like that. But generally would increase like I say, kind of the quality of your lifestyle, and this has some benefits towards like I think stress and some things like that. I'll have to check. We'll do that later. Anyway, So keep in mind that these are some of the kinds of things you could do with the money. Also, you could be improving the ship, which again is something we'll talk about outside of session. Maybe we can schedule a time for that. Yeah, it's still time to start thinking about what your next job is. Again, the money won't last forever. It can't do everything. If you start really like spending it, it's not going to last long. And you got to stay busy, stay employed. So you're sitting around the table in your space cafeteria once again. As I've described before, this ship has taken on a slightly anarchic quality since it was taken over by criminals. There's some graffiti on the walls. Nothing too ugly. It's all pretty. It's like good graffiti, right?
Very tasteful.
Yeah. No, it's like high quality. Like people actually like trying to like do something good, not just like writing fart on the wall.
Well, if you write Dave was here and it looks like shit, they're like, oh, Dave, yeah, from the fucking hallway. You're an ass.
You can write fart on the wall, but it has to be again tasteful.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. You can't just write fart. It's like you have to like do 3D text.
Yeah.
Some color
wrapped around a nude.
Yeah. Can we title this session "Tasteful Farts"?
No.
Absolutely not. No.
It's just a bit of a den of iniquity, and this is where you plan a lot of your crimes. And once again, that's what's happening. You're sitting around the table. This is who's here, except for Lana. Lana's not here. Again, Lana, you could still help contribute to the planning, but your character Lana is on a bender and has just disappeared.
Yeah.
So.
All right, folks. Have you heard? Apparently, there's this big war. I didn't know about this, but like they're telling me there was this war, and what I hear is that
how he wouldn't have known about it.
What I hear is that there is a killing to be made. There's just all this junk, all these like just destroyers and battleships that are just completely hollowed out and just floating around in space, and just anyone can go and just grab this stuff and sell it for a killing.
Yeah, that's called salvage teeth. I did that for like 7 years. It's a known factor.
I'm unfamiliar with the term, but if you're willing to back this, I'm going for it.
Let me tell you though, wartime salvage played out. I hear 120 years ago, a whiskey ship with all the whiskey still in the casks was going from a Galileo colony all the way out to Luna for those neo-trillionaires to uncork it and drink it in a single night. Got hit by an asteroid. All right. And nobody ever found where all that ship fragments were. I say we find that ship, we find that 150-year-old whiskey, and we sell it. We make a killing.
Drink at least some of it, though, right?
Oh, yeah. We keep one of
Can
the
my new
casks
character be an ex-space miner?
Yeah.
That's called an adult.
There we go.
All right. We're doing it.
You could start debuting a character now if you have an idea for it and figure out the mechanical bits later.
Kinley McKinley.
The other option, of course, is in my time, I did do a fair amount of killing, and I enjoyed it wholeheartedly.
It's real fucked up, Al.
I just to let me tell the story, for God's sakes. My God, where was I?
You were mentioning the number of people you had killed.
Anyway, murder for hire does have quite a good paying job title, and I mean there is the option for that. Just saying.
You weren't here for this, but we got a French guy, Francois Perrat, asking all sorts of questions after that heist. I don't even know his real name. All I heard was oui, monsieur, snails.
Wait, Francois Boudoir?
I don't know his actual name. All I could hear was that ridiculous accent.
Just that he's French, huh?
There was a
He
French
might be
detective
French.
asking questions. Yeah,
Potentially Belgian.
Yeah, and just-
especially Belgian.
I
He
was
didn't even
curious.
like
The
eat a
mustache
cigarette.
said Belgian.
The accent said French, but the beret said Belgian.
Okay.
So yeah, we could kill someone, but then we
I've-
have a corpse.
I feel like we can sort of mix one legitimate heist with Al's barely restrained
Bloodlust.
sociopathy. Yeah.
My
I feel like we
unbridled
can-
rage is a thing. Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like we can fit one thing into another
Well,
thing.
the whiskey heist would maybe be legitimate or maybe not. Technically,
whiskey
there
heist.
is still some crusty billionaire on Luna who has ownership of that whiskey, according to a document. And reportedly, over the years, off and on, has posted a sort of bounty to find it, but you don't know what the status of that is right now.
Wanted, dead or alive, whiskey. Wait, no.
So
Hopefully
he's
dead.
looking
It's a
for
fairly
treasure
odd
hunters, really.
wanted picture.
Yeah,
Is what
I'm gonna
Well,
steal
well,
the
or at least
Declaration
he-
of Whiskey
oh,
Pendants.
off and on over the years, he's looked for treasure hunters because it's basically so. All this whiskey was for a party, and there were a certain number of families that had purchased the whiskey together that were these trillionaire space families on Luna. But over the years, basically, most of the families relinquished ownership of this theoretical whiskey that might still exist to just one family for small amounts of money, small
A
millions.
settlement
and
claim
billions
was signed by various
Uh,
families, and this is
Are
all
we talking
breaking
about
up behind him.
Bitcoin right now?
So we
Theoretical
don't know if
whiskey.
this whiskey's real or not, do we?
It's called fiat currency.
Whiskey is very real. It's almost as real as salvage and murder, two of the oldest
Yeah, Brett,
professions.
is there some reason that you thought the whiskey was real? Did you get a tip or a clue or something?
Yeah, right on the tip.
Or anyone? Did anyone, for that matter, did anyone get a clue that the whiskey is in fact out there?
So there I was, in the Scotland region of Galileo, and a man
Aye.
with 3 legs told me a story about his forebears and how their very first casking was never tasted, except they had one long tube of whiskey. But it can't be called Scotch because it's not from the Scotland area of Earth. It's in the Scotland area of Galileo. We all know this. It's basic geopolitics.
Right.
Anyways, he showed me a picture and he told me it was a scratch and sniff. And so I did. And ever since that day, I've been haunted by the sheer peaty bootiness of that photo. And he told me it was around the 3rd Lagrange point of Luna.
How do you know that's not from the bottom of his shoe?
I heard booty.
When you've been around the block as long as I have, you can distinguish between the taste of a shoe and the idea of a shoe. And this, my
literally
friend,
bones.
was the idea of a shoe.
Now, let me tell you, I have lied a lot about how specific liquors smell and taste because a lot of people seem to think that they do in very complicated manner when they actually just all taste like gasoline. But I can tell from this story, there's something here.
Okay.
I have worked out the trajectory, and Brett's proposition does seem at least plausible.
Haley's Comet 2.
I'm
Oh,
not
we're
going to
coming
argue
for you.
anymore. I'm
We're
fine.
coming for you, Haley's Comet 2. we
Is that
will
what-
avenge what happened.
Is
All
that
right,
what you're
does
calling
everybody
the whiskey?
agree that the mystery whiskey at range point 3, where by the way there's like a debris field that has naturally accumulated there, especially since nothing's ever been built, so no one clears it out, and it's just a regular accumulation spot for just space trash. And it has been checked for the whiskey before, once or twice.
This is a bop.
But it's a massive field of junk. So, maybe it's still out there somewhere.
Oh, big
Does everybody agree that that's the heist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down for a
Works
whiskey
for me.
heist.
Oh, cat. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
So I guess the question would be, do you want to contact Winston Thorogood Fabernatch?
You're writing that down, right?
Please
Yeah.
remember that.
Why would
name.
you not just? Why that just pops into your head? It sticks immediately. All the
Yeah,
listeners
it
are already they're already fans. I mean, viewers are
It's
already
tasteful.
talking about
It's
it.
nude. You're muted, Mole.
Fabernatch or Fabernatch?
Fabernatch.
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 The 17.
Okay. Is that Thorogood hyphen Fabernatch?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Good answer.
So Winston Thorogood Fabernatch is the current sole owner.
Is that
Legal
good?
owner.
Like GOUGHD?
Yeah.
Sorry. I
How's it
forgot I
spelled?
was not muted.
How's he doing?
It's actually GOUDGHT.
Oh,
okay? What's his name? How's he doing?
Yeah, so he's the sole legal owner of the Lost Whiskey, technically, at this point. Do y'all have any interest in fucking
Telling
with this
him?
guy, or do you just want to go get it for yourselves? Do what you want.
I say if we find it, maybe we can sell it to him. But like, I want to taste it. I don't want
Okay.
to just.
One
smell the
assumes he
picture.
has an outstanding bounty for it if someone locates it, so we could just show up with it then.
Well,
I feel like
I
once
said,
we have
off
it,
and
we
on
can try
over
and
the
sell it twice.
years- Off and on over the years, he and some of the other owners before him have offered bounties. It doesn't seem clear that there's a bounty offered at this time or what it would be. Like, you are able to find like a posting from many years ago, but the number seems like a little low because it's like it's pretty old, and you also assume that the contact info is not current because again, this is like it's like 20 years.
Because it's a
old.
Prodigy account.
Yeah.
So you're like, well, that's yeah.
Is it like a well-known sort of treasure in the region? Are we gonna have competition?
There could be other treasure hunters out there looking for it. It's definitely it doesn't in terms of like popular treasures in the region, this one is considered by a lot of people to be at this point just a myth. So it's not as popular, not necessarily because it's invaluable, but because a lot of people just think it's not real anymore.
Like Neo Sasquatch.
Right. But of
Space
course, Neo
Squatch.
Boy, did they all look
was
like fools.
eventually proven true.
What is
So,
Neo Sasquatch, first of all?
maybe-
It's a Yeti with a jetpack.
I thought it was a neo-Nazi Sasquatch.
Wow, that would be a lot worse and way less politically correct.
That would just be a
it's
Nazi
Yeti with a
Sasquatch.
jetpack.
All right.
Hitler Squatch?
Right.
Let's try and keep
Gobel Squatch.
Nope. Kennedy, fucking please tell us something. So
just in case you're ever curious who you may or may not be running afoul of, this guy Winston, he's one of the owners of DeLuca Mioka Multiplanetary, which is just a huge conglomerate. They do a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but how many theme parks they own?
One, well,
Which
7.
Oh
but one in the circuitous.
my god.
One of the 7, but
part of
also
the Triple
7
Crown?
total. Yeah, they own one of the 7 legendary theme parks of the circuitous jackfruit. See, it all comes back
We
around.
gotta get on this guy's good
I'll
side.
tell ya.
This guy's hot shit.
Also, what's the name of anybody throw this out there? What's the name of the company that makes this whiskey? Like, this is 150-year-old.
Yeah, sorry, I gotta get the
Whiskey.
mucus in my throat.
Oh, we got all right. Yeah, no,
Catcher in
get
the
us.
Spirit?
Catcher in the Space Rye?
Catcher in the Space Ride.
Oh God, thank you.
Oh!
Oh,
Yeah, I like Catcher in the Space, right?
Yeah, I think it's
You can
know,
say that
fun.
one out loud with your mouth and not have to do that thing with your neck that you did.
Other people can pronounce it too.
It's Welsh.
Fans
All
love
right,
it. They can
so-
spell it.
Next session, we'll be starting the 150-year-old Catcher in the Space Rye whiskey heist. We're headed to Lagrange, the debris field at Lagrange 3, between Luna and the Earth, and there is no clear, exact understanding if this whiskey is even real, but if it is, we're gonna find
We're
it.
gonna drink it.
boy.
You're gonna
I will find and drink you.
Thanks everybody for tuning in to Rolling In. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.